And welcome back. So, I talked about Daredevil Season 1 yesterday, how I love Daredevil Season 1 at the moment. In terms of everything I've seen in Netflix, it's probably my second favorite thing of the Netflix Marvel series I've watched. I've watched up to Defenders so far. And we'll get to the Daredevil Season 2 as soon as I talk about it. With Daredevil Season 2 being probably my favorite. But we've also been going chronologically, me and my girlfriend. So after Daredevil Season 1 was Jessica Jones Season 1. Now, I know a lot of people really like Jessica Jones. And there's some people who don't, and that's fine. Where do I fall on that cat? I like Jessica Jones. I did like Jessica Jones quite a bit. But it did not appeal to me anywhere near as much as Daredevil did. And the reason for that is a couple things. Right off the bat, though, what works in this series? What works? Well, I like the whole concept that it's someone dealing with trauma. That Jessica is a trauma survivor. That's partly why she's so fucking jaded. Unfortunately, when we get some of the things I have problems with, it's not the only reason she's a bit of an ass. She's always been a bit of an ass. She just developed more of that after the trauma that Kilgrave put her through. And I really appreciate that aspect of this. It's about her trying to move past it, but she can't, and kind of rightfully so, she can't do that on some level. The villain is also, next to Wilson Fisk, is arguably one of the best villains we've had in the Netflix series. David Tennant's Kilgrave is just having so much fucking fun having a character who can basically just make you do whatever he tells you to. And like the episode where we see it's like, oh, so you're like Obi-Wan, yeah, but just cue that. You want me to do the hero thing, all right? See that whole coffee? Pick it up, throw it in your face. It's fun just to see him go off. And let's not mince words. Kilgrave is a terrible individual, but what they do with Kilgrave, giving him the background they gave him, actually making him sympathetic to the on levels where you're like, there is a human in there. There's a human who's capable of feeling hurt, who's capable of feeling at least what he considers love. Granted, because of his upbringing, as he explains, it's like, I had to tell people to feed me, for God's sake. Because of his upbringing, he's still more or less a sociopath. But at the same time, you see, when he actually sees his parents after all these years, and he breaks down and holds his mom, telling her how he's sorry he hurt his mom. He's sorry he hurt. It's like, you see that it's a scared child. You see there's like a scared boy in there. And then these people make the it's like, I have to kill you. It's like, you were making progress and you fucked it up. It's like decision making. Decision making is one of the big problems I'm gonna get to in a little bit in this film or in this series. But the interactions Jessica has with Kilgrave, like when she has to live with him for a while, those are some compelling bits right there. Like her having to deal with that, and then us learning that she is somehow immune to him, probably due to overexposure. How they introduced Luke, the fact they introduced Luke Cage in this series, not in his own series. That I thought was a good way to kind of bridge the gap, to get us there. And I think that might be partly why Iron Fist, when we get to Iron Fist, didn't do so well. Because, I mean, we didn't start off with Jessica in Daredevil, but Jessica had a unique enough tone to it that you could just go from there. And then Luke Cage was able to bounce off that. And Luke Cage's portrayal, I like the portrayal of Luke Cage. Who portrays Luke Cage, by the way? I never actually found out that actor's name. Hold on. Luke Cage. Luke Cage. Who is played by... is played by Mike Coulter. I thought that was a really solid interpretation of Luke Cage. Is he as buff as, say, like the comic book character? No, but or toned, I guess you could say. No, he's not, but very few people who actually portray these characters are. But he's in shape. And by the way, you can tell as the series progressed and as we got into Defenders in his own series, and I'm gonna guess in Luke Cage season 2, he was working out more, so he does look bigger. But yeah, I mean, I like how they did. I like how they basically reference the relationship that they do, and that they have a kid together in the comics. So it's clear that that's there. Here's the thing too. Even though the Netflix series are pretty much disappearing, they still have Jessica Jones season 3 and Punisher 2 coming out on the pipeline. Punisher 2 first, and season 3 of Jessica Jones. I would not be surprised to see Luke Cage show back up in Jessica Jones. I would not be surprised at that. It would make sense. He always showed up. He was debuted in season 1, so I think it would actually make sense to have him come back. And the relationship we see them have is a very compelling one. We see him dealing with his wife and her realizing, I'm the one who killed your wife, and him trying to process all of this. The episode where he's basically being controlled by Kilgrave. That's interesting. It also shows that Kilgrave doesn't have complete control over like metahumans. Because you see, before Jessica shoots him in the face, you see him actually hesitate and pause, meaning he was not completely in control. Where Jessica could get through to him on some minor levels. So I did like that aspect. Claire showed up for that 2 episodes, I want to say, and yeah, Claire, it's Claire. It's Rosario Dawson. She's not good in this series. And the action sequences aren't fantastic, but they're not supposed to be. I liked her friend. I did like her, the junkie who became an ex-junkie because he was turned into a junkie. I thought he was like a nice little conscience, a little Jiminy Cricket on his shoulder. I thought that was well done. But my issues start to come in with the series as a whole. Because it seems to be trying to go with a film noir style at first. And if it had stuck with that, maybe I could have gone with that. But it started to go with that for 2 episodes. And it did not feel noirish to me. That's the thing. It did not feel noirish. Now, maybe it is. Maybe some smarter people than me think it is, and that's fine. My girlfriend thinks it is. And that's fine. I kind of argue a little bit with her, but I don't think she's wrong per se. I think I have a different opinion. That's all it really is. I guess that doesn't mean I think she's wrong, but I don't try to really argue. It's like, no, you're wrong. You're wrong. I don't do that. Just, you have your opinion. I have mine. And if it tried to stick with it the whole way through, that's fine. But they abandoned 2 or 3 episodes, and it doesn't even come back until she gets that monologuing narration at the end. And really, that leads into one of the other problems I have is that, at least in her own series, Jessica's not, because she's our lead in her own series, we get used to how cynical and kind of unlikable on some levels she is. She's not, I get it, she's sympathetic on some levels, but the fact that, but she's not like a House type of character where he's an ass. He has tragedy behind his past. He was always kind of an ass, but he's more of an ass. But there's a likable charm to Hugh Laurie when he's playing House. Jessica doesn't have a wit or a charm to her that makes her anywhere near as endearing. She's not terrible, at least not in her own series in the first season. When we get to Defenders, though, we're gonna talk a bit more about how they kind of fucked with her character a bit. Well, not fucked with her, made her the weak link of that series, because by and large, and that's talking about a series that has Danny Rand in it, she was the weak link in Defenders. On her own, you get it, and she's not completely unlikable. I can't watch this character. This character just pisses me off. No, I don't it's just, it goes back and forth with her that there's moments where you get it, you understand her, she's trying to do her best to do some good, but at the same time, she's being an ass, honestly, at points for no fucking reason. I get it. She's a trauma survivor. She was a rape survivor. I get that completely. But you know what? I'm not going to say get over it, because that's not the right thing to say. That would be complete. But you know what? Lighten the fuck up a bit. I get it. You have trauma. You have a bad history to this. You had you're an abuse survivor. I get that. I understand it. But you know what? There are just people who are trying to be nice and all that, and you act like an ass, honestly, for no reason. Now, there are times she catches herself and does apologize on some level, and that's what makes her not really unlikable, but just not. I don't root for her very much even in her own. I root for her near the end because we know Kilgrave needs to be stopped, but at points I'm like, I'm kind of rooting for Kilgrave, if I'm going to be honest. And then there's the whole solving, like, the trauma at the beginning where the girl kills her parents and then ends up taking her own life. I'm like, well, this was completely pointless, this entire plot point. My God. What was her, oh God, what's her name? Playing Hogarth. Trinity. That's right. I'm just going to call her Trinity. Fuck it. Trinity. I liked her. I don't really like the Matrix movies. I'm one of those rare people who doesn't like the Matrix really at all. I don't really like because she's pretty bland in it. At least in Jessica Jones and later in Iron Fist and later in a few other series. She actually has a personality. She's a cold, calculated bitch, but she's got a personality. And Jessica Jones, like I said with Daredevil, is another example of this is an adult show. You see people fucking. You see people fucking in this movie. Again, there's no nudity or anything, but you definitely see her riding Luke Cage's shaft the whole time for a while. You see him bend her over and do her. You see her just hoist her up and fuck her against the wall. Yeah, you get some stuff in here. Yeah, you get some hardcore stuff. Again, surprisingly, they have no issue really showing a lot of blood. Like, they'll decapitate people to show blood. They won't throw F-bombs and they won't show nudity. It's an interesting kind of way it kind of shows that really if the content matter and the subject matter is really needed, you can go R-rated and you don't need anything really like tits, TNA, or excessive language. Adult situations, if you will. And from the biggest problem I have, I think, see, the two problems I listed, the tone is a little confused, but that's not huge. Jessica is not the most likable, but she has her moments, definitely, and she is the lead, so you grow to at least root for her in the end. But the biggest problem I have is there are side characters in this show that, frankly, either pissed me off or I had no idea why they were there. I'm going to say Trish for a second, but those fucking fraternal twins, what was the goddamn point of those characters? If it was just the brother, who's kind of like this lovesick puppy that Kilgrave eventually, ends up making him kill himself, that's one thing. But what is with, and let's not mince words, what is with this bitch of a sister? She is completely obnoxious, completely self-absorbed, completely idiotic, and just not likable at all. She is just obnoxious and rude and kind of vile, honestly, as a person. She's like a venom spitting. I'm sure the actress is a very nice person in real life. The character we're going with. She's not bright at all. Like, I'm trying to remember some of the things, like, so $50,000, do you even have $50,000? When you're trying to find her brother who's dead. So, do you even have $50,000? Like, are you going to help me or not? It's like, no, that's a legitimate question. Do you even have 50 grand? Because if you don't, and somehow he was alive and they found him, and they say, where's my 50 grand? You're up shit creek, lady. It's like, how dare you ask for the money? You offered her, you asked for the money. You should have done it out of kindness. She would have done that too. She would have basically just been this manipulative little shrew. Oh man. And then there's others just like, don't be blind. Don't be blind to her ways. Talking about how Jessica's like this horrible harpy or something like that. It's like, fuck off. Just shut the fuck up. What is your problem? Like, what do you, I think it's because, she like felt responsible for him. It's like, he's just a boy in his 20s. It's like, yeah, it's clear though that kid was very sheltered and very innocent. So I actually understand why she had to parent him. At the same time, though, maybe you shouldn't have and given him some real world experience because, oh my God, seriously, what was the point of you? But you know what? From what Mark, I have some mild spoilers on all this, except for obviously the new stuff, but on season 2, all the stuff that's currently on Netflix, except for Iron Fist too. I don't know anything about Iron Fist season 2, honestly. Besides, the choreography is a lot better, and he actually gets that trademark suit. Is that, as far as I know, that character is either not in season 2 or is so relegated to a side character that we barely see her, which is great. But you know who is in season 2? And you know, from what I hear, is going to get really bad for me in terms of character, is Trish. I get it. She's Jessica's best friend, pretty much an adopted sister. In fact, adopted sister, but she got adopted by them. Had a bad history with her mother, who was basically used her for the career, and blah, 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 blah. I get that. She wants to be helpful. And there's a couple scenes where she actually is helpful. She is, gets a report because she's got Trish Talk. She has a radio. She was able to just schedule this appointment at a fancy restaurant for this guy so they can get some information. I'm like, okay, that was a good moment with her. But everything else about her, I'm just like, no. Trish, stop. You can't help in this scenario. Trish, stop trying to help. Yes, you are trying to make yourself a weapon. No one touches me unless I want them to. It's like, guess what? A lot of people touched you regardless because you sucked. It's like Trish wants to be helpful. She wants to save people. It's like, I want to be like you. Ooby-doo, I want to be like you, Jessica. But you just suck at it. Stop trying to help because you're not helping. You served as a decoy for Kilgrave in the finale. That's fine. You were able to get that thing, I can't remember what, information, thanks to being Trish. But other than that, though, you served no point other than to basically be the damsel in distress Jessica needs to save constantly. Because you're in over it. You have no overall abilities besides the fact that you trained in fighting for a while. You have no overall abilities that can help the situation. Even your temporary boyfriend, Psycho Cop, had military training. So what are you bringing to this table? It's like, you want to be in control is the problem. You need to control things. That's why it's like she was on top while they were having sex. And she was like pinning him down. She's like, I want to be in control. Yes, I'm in control. You had no control as a child, therefore you need to take control as an adult. But unfortunately, you have no control in this scenario because Jessica could wipe your ass, kick your ass if she honestly wanted to. You got the best of her because she didn't know you knew self-defense. And then, and fucking Luke Cage could kick your ass, Daredevil could kick your ass, Iron Fist could kick your ass. Kilgrave can just say, nope, and then say, kiss me, mean it. It's like, you're under his control at the end. He told you to put a bullet in your head. She's just trying way too hard without understanding that she can't assist in this. And from what I understand from Mark, he has seen Jessica Jones season 2. I have not watched it yet. It doesn't get any. It gets worse. It honestly gets worse. Oh man, her character. I think that's what made her almost. Well, not even almost. I think that is what made her worse for me than those just annoying fraternal twins, is the fact that she doesn't seem to, besides the fact that she's more of a main character, she's like a secondary main character pretty much because she's Jessica's best friend. She doesn't seem to learn. Whereas by the end, I will say at the very minimum, the sister of the fraternal twin, she did seem to learn a little bit. She did seem to grasp some of the situation on some level. But Trish doesn't. Trish just wants to be, I want to be where the heroes are. She's a Disney princess, goddammit! It's Netflix. She's a Netflix princess. She wants to be where the heroes are. She wants to help out and be useful to them, but she doesn't realize that she is just an ordinary person. Can't you see, Trish, that you just suck? Go and talk on, Trish, talk. Do what you're good at. Stay out of the light. For the love of God. Oh, God. I swear, I hope I don't get flagged by YouTube saying, nope, you're performing a song. It's under parody, for God's sake. Look it up. I just made it up at the top of my head, too. So, yeah, God, I don't like Trish at all. I don't like her. Granted, when she shows up briefly in Defenders, it's fine. There's nothing wrong with her in Defenders, so I at least say that. But man, oh. And I know the guy who played the cop, who basically is an ex-military guy and goes rogue. He is an actual character in the comics. I just don't remember. Is he like U.S. agent or something like that? I can't remember exactly who he is. But ultimately, did I hate Jessica Jones? No, I didn't hate Jessica Jones season 1. I liked Jessica Jones season 1. I thought a lot of that came from the fact that David Tennant was just fun to watch. David Tennant was having a blast, and if David Tennant's having a blast, I can have a good time. And for the most part, it was not badly written. Well, it definitely wasn't badly acted. It was well done. It was well done. I did like it. I did like it a fair amount. I didn't love it, but I didn't like it. Daredevil season 2, I loved. So I can say I liked Jessica Jones season 1. We'll see what happens in season 2 when I eventually get to it. Until then, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. As always, if you want us to review something, put in the comments below. Let us know. Do a review of it at some point. Ideas for who would win, Star Wars, superhero, magic, what if, anything I do on the channel. Put that in the comments below. Let us know. We'll do a review of it at some point. I'll be back with What If today. It's the week of What Ifs coming, so I've got a couple lined up. See how long it takes me to get through them before I add any other new ones on there. Because I got 3 different ones. Basically, what I do if it's basically a clean slated week, like I have no outstanding who would wins to do, I basically will pick 3 to start with, continue on with them, and then if I finish one out, I start a new one. But I don't want to just go day by day with a who would, because I'll just have God knows how many who would wins floating around. I want to try to keep it simplistic as possible. Until then, though, thank you for watching. I will be back in a little while. So later, folks.